Let's give a round of applause to the media. Come on, man. Everyone, let's go. Chess move. You guys have managed to create an issue at Real Madrid internally and started blaming different players. You guys started it from the beginning of the season. Don't think I didn't notice. Don't think I haven't noticed what you guys have been doing and planning ever since Mbappe came to Real Madrid. And you guys have been planning and waiting for a moment, and we, for some reason, have given you those moments every single time because of the fact that we haven't started well this season. And every single time we've given you those little, here you go. You know what? Here you go. You guys did it well, and now you guys have moved on to another player. And that person is Jude Bellingham. And it's the same player who's connected to Jude Bellingham, and that's Kylian Mbappe. I will be discussing this whole issue, which has now been circulating ever since Marca came out and said Jude and Vinny, or Jude on Mbappe, or Mbappe and Vinny. All of those problems, we don't have a problem. We do not have a problem. We have one problem, but it's not what you guys are mentioning. It's not what you guys are referring to. You guys don't want to mention that problem because it doesn't create clickbait. It doesn't create media headlines. It doesn't create nothing. And because Carlo, we'll talk about it. Before I discuss everything, don't forget to, of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and, of course, comment your own thoughts on what you think about this situation and whose side you are on. But by the end of this video, that's not going to be a side. That's not going to be who's Team Jude or who's Team Mbappe. That's only one little problem, which I'll mention. The media has managed to create, and well done to Marca, by the way. Marca, well done, bro. You guys did well. Because after what they said last 2 days, every single news headline has fallen into it. Spanish media rips Jude as the goal drought reaches 11 games. Jude Bellingham is bruised to this land by the Spanish media because of the struggles he is. That's no struggles at Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham is not struggling at Real Madrid. Jude is not performing bad. Jude is really and truly amongst one of our better players this season. But numbers don't really prove it. And the media don't really watch the game. They only care about numbers and what they see on the stat sheet. And Jude Bellingham, unfortunately, hasn't been on the stat sheet. That's 0 goals, and we are now pretty much towards the end of October. At this point last season, Jude was chilling on 11 goals. But I will discuss that because let's not forget that Jude Bellingham, second half of the season, he wasn't really scoring that massive amount of goals. But the media are forgetting that. We'll get to it. But of course, the main person for everything, for all of those issues, is of course Kylian Mbappe, which is what the media is now referring to. Kylian Mbappe sends a clear Real Madrid demand as Jude Bellingham issue needs to be addressed. At the moment, it's an issue between Mbappe and Jude. And that's what the media is pretty much referring to. But are you guys forgetting one thing? Please, Madrid fans, Madristas, let's not forget one thing. Let's not forget that the same media tried it with someone else. And it flopped. It didn't work out. Are we forgetting that what the media tried to do? What? A couple of days ago? What? The first clash. Vinny and Mbappe. Last month they tried it. Last month they've been pointing this. They've been trying to plant seeds. But last month it never worked out. What did they say? Who has killed the vibe? And what they decided to do is find a little clip. But that little clickbait and that headline, it lasted a couple of days, and then everyone didn't really care about it because Vinny and Mbappe, they started pretty much enjoying things and they start playing well with each other and they started scoring goals. Especially the one thing that killed the whole situation was the penalty incident where Mbappe gave the penalty to Jude. Where Mbappe gave the penalty to Vinny, and Vinny repaid the same favor when Vinny gave the penalty to Mbappe. So that little news headline and that little everything, that drama, that ended within literally a week. And now the next victim is Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is the next victim. And that's what the Spanish media is very smart in doing. They are pointing at issues within this Madrid team. Let me make it very clear, and let me make it very clear to all the people who's been watching and all the people who's been gaslighted. This is really a gaslight, who's been really falling into this bait. It is a bait from the media. There is no issue between Vinny and Mbappe. There is no issue specifically between Jude and Mbappe. Really and truly, if we're being real here, forget Vinny, Mbappe and Jude has got the best relationship, whether that's on the pitch and off the pitch. On the pitch, they understand each other more than any other player at Real Madrid. There is not a single player at Real Madrid right now who understands Mbappe as much as Jude. You can go back since the first game of the season. Go back to the first game of the season and go back to how Mbappe scored his first goal, assisted by Jude. And go back to what Jude said after the game. I understand Mbappe quite well, and my role in this team isn't really to score a lot of goals and assists, it's to help the team at the best way I can. And he's been praising Mbappe every single time. So you can go back to all the training clips and all the training session. They always chill with each other. They always talk to each other. And they always try to have fun with each other. And go back to every single goal. Mbappe's best goal at Real Madrid. Forget the goal against Celta Vigo. The back heel with Jude assist and a shimmy against Elfayz. Who assisted it? Jude Bellingham. You could go every single time. The best relationship and the best partnership at the moment for Real Madrid is Jude and Mbappe. So this issue and this headline is created because the media is trying to do something within this Madrid team. But really and truly, there is no problem. The problem isn't Jude. I've seen a lot of headlines and I've seen a lot of people online. They say Mbappe is hurting Madrid. Jude is hurting Madrid. Vinny is hurting Madrid. It's not a player problem. The main problem, really and truly, is this guy. He's the problem. It's not specifically Carlo Ancelotti. We have a coaching problem. We have a system problem. If you go back last season, and the reason why last season was perfect for Real Madrid, apologies for this brother. I'm not sure why this brother say it, but Toni Kroos is retired. So Toni Kroos' card is no longer available. So the closest thing I could get to Toni Kroos in terms of a name is this brother. And he gives Toni Kroos vibes. You know what I mean? Like, big man, like Collies. The point is, last season, the reason why Real Madrid won beginningly, if you go back to last season, and there was a moment of last season between August to December, Real Madrid was really at the same position as we are right now. We relied a lot on individual brilliance. It wasn't as bad as this season. Last season, we played quite well. Most of the games that it was 2-1, 1-0, we played well. We dominated. But it was always we needed Jude Bellingham to save us. And the system last season was very clear, very easy. It was this. We started the season with this. Jude Bellingham was playing as the 10. And the reason why it worked very well last season is because Jude was making the runs. Rodrigo and Vinny was pulling defenders away, was helping. It made the situation easier for Jude Bellingham because the system was built around Jude Bellingham last season, especially between that first 5 months, between August, September, October, November, and December. The whole system was created and designed for Jude Bellingham. But everyone knew, Carlo Ancelotti knew, Real Madrid knew that heading into the key stages of the season, we can't rely on this because, yes, Jude scored. Well, go back to last season. Jude scored between August to December. Jude scored over 6 goals from the 88th minute and above. So we relied a lot on Jude Bellingham. It wasn't a team collective. It was just an individual, and that individual was only Jude Bellingham. So Carlo, everyone knew things had to change. And what happened is that Jude Bellingham went back to a position that he knows quite well. He played it at Dortmund and he played it at where he was. But let me make it something very clear. Jude Bellingham last season, and even if you go back from January to May, he was still scoring goals. I loved his cameo from January to May. The problem wasn't the goals last season. The problem wasn't Jude was scoring goals. The system was there last season. Like from January on to May, we saw an actual system at Real Madrid. And that system, it went from a Jude Bellingham system from August to December, it went to a Kroos system. So from January onwards, from Jan to May, the system was mainly created and designed by Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos was the build-up. Toni Kroos was the control of the midfield. He was the one dictating everything in terms of tempo, in terms of momentum. Everything was created by this person, Toni Kroos. That's why he flourished even more. He became, forget the goals, forget numbers, performances became better. And that's why Vinny became the person he was before. Because Vinny started the season very slow. He was trying to adapt into this new role, into this striker formation. But after January, Vinny became sensational, became the Ballon d'Or winner, as we all know. That's why last season was this. This season, without Toni Kroos, everything has changed. Because at the moment, when I said before, the system was, from the first 4 months, it was a Jude. The system was designed around Jude. Everything that we did was designed around Jude Bellingham. From January to May to June, the system was designed by Toni Kroos. Right now, this season, we don't have no system. No one is taking control of any system because of the fact of this brother. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying, well, actually, I am saying it's his fault. I understand what a lot of people are saying. Some people are saying, trying to defend Carlo Ancelotti. And I hear it. I do hear it. Yes, the absence of Toni Kroos is massive. No one can replace Toni Kroos. There is no profile in the world that can do what Toni Kroos does. And if you go back pretty much throughout the whole decades, it's not just Real Madrid who's been hurt and impacted by this. You can go to our arch nemesis, our biggest rivals in Barcelona. They've been hurt ever since Xavi left. And yes, specifically 2 players. Xavi hurt Barcelona massively because they never found a profile to replace Xavi in terms of the midfield. And when Busquets left last season, there was no profile to replace what Busquets does. So Barcelona has been impacted by this over the past 10 years. Go to teams like City. You can see a massive difference when Rodri doesn't play. Go to team like Milan. When Pirlo left, massive difference. Go back to Juventus. When Pirlo joined Juventus, go look at Juventus over the past couple of years and look at why they never won the Champions League when Ronaldo was there. Pirlo wasn't there. They never found a dictator. The biggest position and the most important position, in my opinion, is something that's hard to replace, is someone that can control the games. And if you go back over the past 10, 20, 30 years, there's only rare profiles that can do it. Xavi, Kroos, Pirlo, Scholes for United. United never has managed to control games because Scholes is not there. Carrick is not there for United. The likes of Chelsea, Fabregas was key for that position during that Jose era and Conte era. So having a controller is massive for a team. Real Madrid at the moment, if you look at this team right now, we don't have a controller. We started the season on playing the 4-3-3, but the 4-3-3 is really hurting Real Madrid. And Carlo knew this. Carlo realized this quicker than what I thought. Because I thought it would take him to drop this little gimmick a couple months down the line. But he knew. And that's why he dropped it straight away. And this is what he's running with. But even this formation is not working out. Because you need to understand. He is not a controller. And Jude Bellingham is not a controller. So you're making everyone do a different role compared to what they were doing the season before. We understand something which is very clear. No one can do the role of Toni Kroos. But at the moment, you're not asking anyone to do what Toni Kroos is doing. You're asking everyone to do something different. The main point about this season is for everyone to compromise and to add something to Toni Kroos. This formation is not working out. This formation is not going to work out because at the moment, our biggest problem is not just having a controller. At the moment, the second biggest problem that we have is the fact that up front is a problem because we don't have any sort of movements and no one is making any sort of selfless runs. Everyone is moving selfish on the pitch at the moment. Everyone is moving on the selfish moment. And that again goes back to Carlo Ancelotti because you can't expect me this at the moment. You tell me what this is. Is this Mbappe's problem? Is this Jude's problem? This is the coaching problem. You can go back to all the goals that we've conceded. The goal that we conceded against Celta Vigo, where I made a video about it, that's not Mbappe's problem. That's not Jude's problem. It is a system problem because the defensive shape is completely gone. There is no defensive shape at Real Madrid. And we are committing so many mistakes this season. The goal against Atleti, where Rudiger decides to push up, that's not Mbappe committing that problem. That is because there is no defensive shape. Our biggest problem is 3 things. We don't have a system. And you can't enter a season without a system. And that again goes back to this brother. Secondly, our striking options at the moment, there is no selfless runs. Again, that can be their problem, but it goes back to this brother again. You are not asking anyone to do, and that goes back to the system, because there's no system around it where everyone is supposed to move. And last but not least, defensively, we have gotten so much worse. So much worse. This season, we are leaking goals. Forget goals. We are leaking chances after chances after chances after chances. And every game, we should be conceding 4 or 5 goals if it wasn't for certain players delivering. But most importantly, Thibaut Courtois. Last season, we were strong defensively in most of the games. Today, this season, we are a liability defensively. And that's why I'm stressing when we're facing Barcelona. Because I'm seeing how they are leaking goals and scoring goals for fun and penetrating through the defense. We are allowing people. Yo, it's a buffet. You want goals? Come here. You want goals? Come here. And this is what the main problem with Real Madrid is, that there's no system. This is nothing to do with Mbappe. This is nothing to do with Jude. This is this guy. Because how can you... Bro, he said, in August we knew this. In August, look what he said. He said, there is no balance, but I will find solutions. He said this when? In August, the 29th of August. We are 2 months in, and I'm still trying to find a solution. Why have you not found a solution? Why is it that every single game he comes up with what? One game he says this, we will fix this. Another game he comes up with this. Look, we'll continue on the right hand side. How can you be reassured with this bullshit? In August you said to me, we'll find a balance. We're 2 months in. That's no balance. Where's the balance? So don't blame Jude at this. Don't blame Mbappe at this. Our biggest problem at the moment, this is a coaching problem. Don't switch on certain players. I'm not one. Is Mbappe hurting the team? Yes, he is. But why is he hurting the team? Ask yourself that question. Why is he hurting the team? He's hurting the team because look at what he's been asked to do. Is he asked to do anything? Is Carlo instructed him to do something? No, he isn't. Is Jude, why is he on the right-hand side? It's not because of Mbappe, it's because of Carlo Ancelotti. He's asked to go in that position. It's that simple. So don't flip sides, don't flip narratives. This is Jude, this is Mbappe, this is Vinny. Mbappe and Vinny goes on the left-hand side. Why did he go on the left-hand side? Why did he go on the left side? Because this guy, he doesn't ask him to do anything. There's no passages of play. There's no clear identity within this team. There's no identity. There's no system. We, Real Madrid, and I'll make it for the final time very clear, there is not a player's problem. This is not Vinny. It's not Mbappe's fault. It's not Jude's fault. This is a coaching problem. And if he doesn't fix this, this will get worse and worse and worse. But I know the media's not going to mention this. That's why the media is making the narrative. That's why, bro, look, Jude is Jude's problem. It's Mbappe's problem. The Vinny. The media are trying to pinpoint at certain players. And the fans, the casual eye, that's why the British media are now falling into it. And if the British media's fall into it, they will give it to the British audience and the British viewers. And people in the UK, they don't watch Real Madrid. They don't watch 90 minutes. They just hear what they hear. It's a casual eye. They see highlights and they see Madrid losing or Madrid struggling, and they see Jude with no goals. And automatically they think, oh, Jude is declining. Jude is not having, what, last season? Was that a purple patch? No, they don't see what the main problem is. And that's why the media, the media's managed to do it. And that's why I started the video off with a round of applause. Because they've gaslighted everyone into believing this is Jude's problem, Vinny's problem. It's not. The only problem that we have is Carlo Ancelotti. And I'm not, let me make it very clear as well. I'm not hating on Carlo Ancelotti. I'm not hating on Carlo Ancelotti. I'm just criticizing Carlo Ancelotti. I'm not a hater. I have more than once said that what he's done at Real Madrid has been exceptional. Last season, I gave him the round of applause. I even gave him an A-star of what he did last season. What he had to deal with last season. With no striker, with no signings and X, Y, Z. With all the lack of centre-backs. He's managed to do something last season, which is incredible. I'm not hating on Carlo Ancelotti. I'm not trying to distinguish is what he's done at Real Madrid. What I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to understand is this season is strictly on him. It's no one else. Yes, the players can do better. this players maybe has underperformed. But those players can perform better if there is a system in place. And since the first game of the season against Atlanta, till now, there is no system. We have now played 15 games and there's no system. Every game I come with a match review and I talk about how bad we are. It's not because I want to criticize my team. It's not because I hate my team. I've been getting allegations that now I'm a Barcelona fan because I make Barcelona content. It's got nothing to do with everything. I would love to praise my team. I care about this team. And the reason why I criticize this team is because I want the best. I demand greatness. Look at us, bro. Look how many Champions Leagues we've won. We are the greatest club in the world. So why are we going to reduce our expectation and standards? For what? For him? No. Let's keep our high standards as it is, bro. We deserve great performances every single week. And we want to play better. If I had players, if you're telling me Mbappe's injured, Jude's injured, everyone's injured, and I got Ceballos, Endrick, and we do this, I don't care. But look at the talent that we have on the pitch. And you tell me what? I'm being spoiled? Get the hell out, man. Move away from me about spoiled. Freaking hell. But I hope I've made it very clear to everyone. The media's been planting this since Jan, bro. Since August, they've been planting against Vinny, against Mbappe, then Jude and Mbappe. It's this person. We have a coaching problem. And once he fixes this, which he's been claiming he does every single press conference, then we'll become better. By the time being, let the media do what they're doing. And don't fall into the hype. Vinny and Mbappe, that's no issue. Jude and Mbappe, they have the best relationship within the team. But guys, put down your comments. Put down your own thoughts of the situation. Whether you agree or if you disagree with what I'm saying, put it down in the comments. If you actually think them two are beefing, let me know. Because they are not. They are not beefing. But if you disagree, put it down in the comments. I'll be back today again with a video. And watch along. We play Dortmund. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see if he claims he can fix this. Because every single week, in every single press conference, he says every single time, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this. Are you? Show me.